Hello, it's Mike. It's April 19th. Almost. Actually, it is April 19th. It's 11:28 p.m. April 19th. It's almost April 20th, 2025. It's almost Easter. Um, the first thing I want to tell you right now, because it's something I learned a few days ago, you have to have a wind sock if you have a tape recorder that has all kinds of omnidirectional things on it. Put literally a cheap sock on top of it. I have one. And I can even see like the hair when I cut my hair the other day. It's on the bottom of the foot of the sock, you know. But it's blocking the wind. It's cutting the S's and things like that. I'm not saying it's pretty, but it works. Anyway, here's tip of the day. You can make money on that if you have a brain and head and can sell some shit. Anyway, Easter. It's Easter tomorrow. I mean, I love Easter. And the weird part is, I really don't. I was never an Easter. Here's the thing, okay? I thought until I was almost 59 years old that I was a Catholic, and it turned out I was a Presbyterian, according to the people that baptized me. So, a lapsed Catholic, lapsed Presbyterian. And the best part is either way I lose, because I never really bothered to do the confessions or anything like that. Because, why would you if you didn't have to? I don't know, that seems kind of mean. I'm not a religious guy. I'm really not. Um, that's surprising to most people. You think I'd be there quoting scripture right and left, and Ezekiel and Lahaim or whatever. I don't know, whatever the other stuff is. But no. But I've always loved Easter, and the reason I loved Easter is because this is going to be a weird one. You got Easter baskets at my grandmother's house, my grandparents' house. It's 65. We'll call it 65. It was a custom built home, mostly built by one of the people there, but also kept care of well by the other person there. Actually, both. And, yeah, a lot of closets, a lot of things. Now, closets, it sounds like a bad thing, right? You think I'm going to tell you about like closets, skeletons in the closet. No, there were Easter baskets because my grandmother, my my maternal grandmother. Oh, you can go dig through this if you need to find out. And there are people that will back me up on this, I'm sure. She could absolutely do an Easter egg hunt or an Easter basket hunt in her own house, and she liked it because she'd be there and watch when you got them because it was all inside. Yeah, it sounds crazy, right? But then again, an Easter egg hunt outside makes more sense. Yeah. I have to believe if PSD was here right now, she would debate this strongly, and then she would take me over her knee or threaten to, which would be quite a pain. But that would be the same pain she would have had 30, 40 years ago. Yeah, which is why it was funny, and we both laughed when she used to say it. I'm taking you over my knee, Michael Jones. Anyway, yes, she would have Easter egg hunts inside her house, and we all bought into it. It was fun, and we looked forward to it. Like we'd go over, I don't know, noonish. I don't really remember. I think it was noonish, maybe a little afternoon. We go over. Then we'd sit there, and our great aunts and uncles would show up, and their uncles, and I don't want to say not great aunts and uncles because I only had one uncle, and he was great. But you know, the people who weren't our great aunts and uncles, and then my grandparents would show up, and sometimes other people would show up too. It was cool. But there'd be Easter baskets or eggs, or it was usually. It's weird because I used to help her like dye the eggs. My sister and I would go over there like maybe a week before. Maybe it wasn't a week. I can't remember. Maybe we were there. Jeez, this is weird. Because we do the pass thing with that little copper, you dip it in there and it falls off. And if you're over the age of 12, you'd swear, but you're 8, so you can't, you know. Um, yeah, well, we would do that. And she'd have the eggs, and they'd be in baskets with all these cool pieces of candy and stuff. And she'd hide them in her house. And my grandfather liked that because he didn't have to go dig around if he wanted to find something before. That's another story as far as the candy goes. But yeah, the places you always looked, as I recall, the hall closet, the main hall closet. You would go to that one first. Everybody went to that. Oh, not me. I went to the linen closet, and I knew it wouldn't be there anyway. But sometimes it was. See, because Gran was pretty tricky that way. She'd put like towels over things once in a while, but she wanted you to find it. Occasionally, you'd go into the powder room. There really wasn't any place to hide in the powder room other than between the sink and the toilet. But sometimes it was in there, and there'd be a cover over that too for obvious reasons. But then again, I don't think that happened very often. I don't know what would have caused her to ever stop doing it, but I remember it happening a little bit and then stopping. So maybe, who knows, somebody took a pee or something. I don't know. Don't know. But the linen closet, oh yeah, the linen closet. There were about 5 shelves. Oh, and I forgot, but there's a broom closet kind of by the powder room door. It was literally about maybe 8 inches wide. So you'd have to slide the basket in sideways with a lot of will to put it in there. Let's put it that way. It was worth checking out. And of course, then again, the basement stairs were too, which were right there. But and none of this really matters except for the idea that you know, the hiding was the fun part, and the looking was the fun part, and people, they had individual baskets. They had individual names on them too. So you do what you do. You can't just you can't just take a basket and say it's yours. If it has the name, Jim or something on it, you don't touch it. Maybe you tell them where it is. I don't know. If it has the name, Raul, I don't know. Maybe the FBI locks you up forever. I don't know the answer to that one, but there was never a Raul that I'm aware of. Anyway, the one place you didn't look right away was always there was a stairway that went up to the attic, and it was a very interesting stairway because it was kind of a catch-all. And as I remember, the stairs were different sizes or different rises over runs. They were larger things going on at the beginning because they were shelves. It was built in the mid 50s. Their house, I mean, and they had a say in it, and it was great. And now I just remembered. I think one time I remember a basket being found in one of the fireplaces. I don't remember if it was covered up, but I just think maybe it was just there. When you have like 10 people, you have to understand there aren't any ways you can hide things. You can put them in your own closets, I guess. I mean, like your personal closets, but what's in your personal closet? I don't know. I don't even want to know. It was a great time, though. And they were closets from. Let me put it this way: there's kind of like the '50s thing. The sliding door closets, like wood panels would open up and close. So it wasn't like you're opening a door. It's almost like you're sliding it. I mean, my sister and I used to hide in those closets just to, fake out my Uncle Jim or Grandma Grandpa and stuff like that. And it was a good time. But that was before the Easter egg hunts. Well, actually, it's probably completely along the lines of the time. But, it was good. Anyway, somehow the word got around to the people who didn't even go looking for the Easter eggs, which would probably be, like I said, the great aunts and uncles. I don't know if Jim did either. I don't know if Mom and Dad did. I don't even. Obviously, Grandma and Grandpa did because they knew where they were. And if Grandpa knew where they were, he wasn't going to tell you because he was hoping you didn't catch it and you'd get it back. But it was fun. It was fun. It was a great time. And Dad and I were thinking about that tonight. And I don't know why I've talked this long about this tonight. It was a great time. Easter was great. I've never looked at it religiously like I probably should be expected to. Then again, in my defense, I never knew what religion I wasn't. Thank you. Have a great night. And have a happy Easter tomorrow.